So, Thursday morning, and there's no YouTube video up. We did do a Twitch video on Sunday, which was how to paint the Mortalis scenery from the Dark Uprising box set for Necromunda. And me, in my wonderful, brilliant genius, did the entire video. It's up on Twitch, although we normally do a recording. And in my brilliance, I forgot to press record. So that's why there's no YouTube video. Well, there will be one, just it's been delayed. So I have painted up scenery, a little bit of it. So we'll be doing the how to paint again. So let's crack on and get this sorted, shall we? So here we go. As you can see, we've got a couple of pieces already painted up here. The reason why we are going for this paint scheme is because we've previously painted up some other scenery, which is from the Kill team sets. And as we have this painted up in this style, we thought we might as well go for the Zone Mortalis painted up the same way. That way, matching scenery, always good. So, give it a little close up. So this is what it should look like by the end of it. Nice, easy process. Done the basics for it. What I've also done is a little bit of light for the strip light in there. And then we're going to be doing the barricade door up as well. So nice and easy there. We've also done the control panel there as well. Now we're only going to be painting these bits up, so one of these. That's because where it's all getting painted up the same, it's all using the same process. So rather than show you the same process on different sections of the scenery, I'll show you on two. And that way you'll know what you're doing with the rest of it. So, two bits there. Because the reason why I've chosen these two bits as well is because where it's got a control panel for access, and some of the other pieces of scenery have the control panel as well, it repeats the process so you know we're doing the rest of it. Then for doors for the room, what we're going to do is what you saw in there, has its stripes, we'll do across there. Then all the detail you have on here, on the wall section or corridor, is the same on the columns and other wall sections. The only difference is where it comes to the flooring of some of the sections. I'll grab one of those pieces now. See in here, the only difference between wall section, column sections, door sections is you've got a bit bigger section that we'll be painting the green onto, which is the Deathworld Forest, which is the one paint I didn't pick up. I'll be able to say. I'll quickly go grab one of those now. There it is. Right. And for that, paints here are all the ones we're going to be using, nice and easy. So we've got Deathworld Forest for the green section. We'll be dry brushing the scenery, and that is going to be using a squig orange. The strip lighting is done with a dawn yellow. Then we've got a lead belcher and a retributor armour, and that's for the metallics. Then the only colours on top of that we do have is Abaddon Black, Abaddon Sunset, and Moot Green. And that will be for the door, or the barricade door, blast door, whatever you want to call it. So the black and yellow there. Then we'll be doing black on the screen with a thin moot green line there as well, just to show that the screen is active. So, with no further ado, we shall crack on. So, start with this bit first, the wall section. First thing we're going to do is, well, obviously we base sprayed it. Might be wanting to know what colour. That is with a Chaotic Red from Army Painter range. And that's their one of the sprays. So we've got the Squeak Orange. And with this we're going to use 3 brushes. That's all we need, 3 brushes, and I've misplaced one already. There we go. So we've got the large shade from Games Workshop. This is our range. We're using this one rather than a large dry brush, because we're going to be using this for dry brushing, because softer bristles and it's got a curved edge, which makes dry brushing a lot easier than a straight edge and stiff bristles. Then we've got our ever so handy Regiment brush from Army Painter, which now has 0 markings on it whatsoever, apart from paint stains. Shows you how well it gets used. And then we've got an insane detail from Army Painter as well, and that is due the moot green edge on the control panel screen, and that's pretty much the only thing this one getting used for. So, starting off, got a paint palette, always handy. Quick, no, it's too hot for the tea. So, what I'll do, I'll zoom in a moment after this bit. So, zoom in on our scenery. So, get your brush in. Wipe a bit of excess off, so we've got about that much on the brush there. And just wipe around down your palette. Spread it out. So you're getting the majority of the paint off the brush. And you should end up with a brush like that. So it's literally, there's no gloops of paint on there. But you can see that the bristles have been coloured with the painting. Circular motions for dry brushing, because it picks up all detail, and as it's a circular motion you get a better coverage. If you just do straight lines, it won't get in all of the recesses or the highlighted detail. It'll just go on it in one direction, it'll create shade on there as well. So this way it gives you a lot better coverage. And just, now I'm not touching it there, but it's always handy. Start away from the model, slowly move in until you can just feel the resistance on the brush. That way you know you've touched and you're just on the right depth for it. Because if you start with the brush directly on the model, if there's accidentally too much paint on there, you'll end up being too heavy with the dry brushing. Now, as I'm going round this, it's going on lightly. If it's going on too light for my liking, then I can apply pressure to it and be a bit heavier with the brush. And that will give better lighting, well, better coverage for the brush onto the model. There we have it. So don't worry if it seems a bit tight, because that's highlighted all the rivets and the edges. So it's quite nicely. Some of these other ones I've done, I have gone a bit heavy on it, I'll do admit. This one's gone on very well. A bit more there. Same again. The other thing as well if you start from far, then work up close. On the off chance you have too much paint loaded onto your brush, the first bit that touches connects with the model. You can actually be able to tell whether it goes on too heavy, and it saves having a big splodge on there, because you only end up with a little bit. Just going a bit over. You'll probably notice that it's going to come through a bit sharper now because there's more paint on the brush. Yeah, nice one, panel done. Now we'll repeat that process on all the other sides. And we'll see you guys in a second. So now we've got the entire piece all dry brushed. And as you can see, some bits have gone on quite heavy there with the dry brushing. Reason for this is to show you why we do circular motions instead of straight lines. Now, if you notice, sorry, back in the middle there. If you notice on these bits there, where it's a flat surface, these bits is where the brush stroke's gone on, and it's quite heavy. If that was a line, then it'll be easy to tell that anyone looking at that, yes, that was a brush stroke. But as it's scenery, as it's gone on like that, it's more of a natural aesthetic look. It's where paint's kind of chipped off or wear and tear kind of effect to it. If you see the brush stroke lines to it, it won't give that effect. It'll just look very messy. So that's why circular motion's always good. So, dry brushing stage. Next, we'll be filling in the green, which is the Death World Forest. So, the reason why we do dry brushing first, as well, because if I wanted to, I could have just done the Death World Forest first. But, otherwise, if I did that, I would have ended up with squig orange all over the green. That wouldn't look nice. It wouldn't sit in well with the idea of the weathered effect, because you need a different type of green to go over the Death World Forest for a weathered effect, not an orange. So, give it that. Give it a good shake. Now, difference between scenery painting and model painting. So you still wetter your brush, get the excess off. This is using the Regiment brush from Army Painter. Now, so difference is with painting your models with base paints, layers paints, you do the old Duncan method of 2 thin coats. Or you just make sure you get a nice smooth layer on there. Then you water down your paint as well. I'll move that in there so you can see the paint, so you can see exactly what I'm going to do with this. So, with this, I've loaded out my brush. Yeah, I've not taken any off. And then I'm just going to slap it on, because you don't have to be too delicate or careful with painting for scenery. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be spending too much time focusing on your painted models or your opponent's painted models, rather than looking at the scenery and going, wow, that's really neatly painted scenery. And most buildings, they do have wear and tear to it. So, easiest way to show wear and tear or wornness to a building is not to paint it neatly. Not to worry about the 2 layers, thin coats, watered down paints. It's easy given the weather effect, just the 1 coat. And this is pretty much it, really. Oh, it's amazing. So you don't have to be slow with this, because what I will show you is, just for example, I've gone over the edges of that and on there. I've also gone over the edge on the side of the lighting there. Scenery painting is not one of the bits where you really want to be bothered about touches up too much, unless you really do make a big mistake and just go all over that side. But little splashes of overspills, it's perfectly fine to just leave, because with scenery as well, it's one of the few things that you're not going to be up close to looking. It's always going to be from far, so the small little mistakes you do make, people won't notice. So that's the starting. Now we'll continue going around the rest, and you'll see how it looks in a second. So here we have the Deathworld Forest all put on, all 4 panels. If you notice on this side, like I was saying, don't have to worry about being neat. I've gone over all the piping, apart from that bit. Oh, that's got paint on it as well, and I've gone over the panel there as well. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you do go over, because in a second I'll be getting one of the metallics out and we'll be going over this piping. So that's why it doesn't matter if you go over, because you'll be covering up. There he is. So next we'll be doing a lead butcher. This will be for some of the pipes and the panels as well. So all the paint stayed in the bottom of the tub rather than the lid. That's better. That's going to close. Need to stay open. Yeah, that's going to stay open. So, crack on. So we'll start with the panel that's got the paint already over it. So, same again, I'm not watering this down, not thinning it out, not getting excess of, just keeping it all on. And just brush. The only difference now is, as it's piping, I am being slightly softer with the brush strokes. We'll leave that one to be Retributor Armour. And we'll get this control panel. Well, that is a Matthew joining us, who's finally turned up for work. A load of paperwork. So, on this side, we're going to leave the big pipe again. We're going to do the panel there. And with the strip lighting, we're not going to do all of it in lead belch, and I'll show you why in a second. Goes quick to this bit here. So, with the strip line, you could leave it turned off, because it's a light switch at the end of the day, isn't it? Well, not a light switch, but a light. The reason why I'm not going to do the lead belcher over these bits is because we'll have light source coming from it. So, you always want to do the light first, then the lead belcher. So, whilst we're doing it. So I'll quickly get the Dawn Yellow. This is a layer paint, and same again, all I'm going to do, dab on the brush, so proper load up the paint there, and then slap it. So there you go, that's it. Nice heavy. This is a very simple way of painting. It is like professional standard, but it's an easy way of getting a light source on there without having to do the entire light sourcing shading bit there, showing the glow. Unfortunately, I'm not that good to be doing advanced techniques, but at the same time, with the scenery, where it's just being used for actual playing games rather than a diorama or display piece, that much detail isn't required. So, you've noticed as well, I'm not even waiting for the paint to dry, just getting lead belcher straight on. Now I will admit, where I'm doing a metallic and a light yellow, there's a high chance this isn't going to show up too well on the video. But what I will do is I'll bring the piece close to the camera so you get a better look at it. So that's the light bit there, light strip. Boom, boom, boom. That's basically what I've done there. You can see it's sloppy and messy, but it gives the desired effect. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to continue painting the lead belcher onto the parts. So I finished off the light strip there. Then I go around and paint up the other bits as well that need painting. Then I shall show you how it looks in a second. Et voila! We have now done the lead belcher and the strip lighting. So the only thing left to do now is to put the Retributor armour on. So, for that, boom, pot already open. So, same again, just loading up the brush. I think you're starting to get the idea now. Loading up, slapping it on. No mess, no fuss. Well, no, actually, no, it's technically wrong because there is mess to this, which would cause fuss, but it doesn't. Piping on that one. And if you notice, I've not gone, oh, I've started it, this is how we go, I'll see you in a second. Because there's not a right lot to the piping. And there's not much of it, so you might as well hang about for the moment. Not that you've got the right choice for the moment because I've not stopped recording. But yeah, just all those sides now for the top. So for the top, we've got a little stamp, so do that as well. Stamp plate, ID number on there. Whatever you want to call it. And pipes. something we've done with this scenery as well, this particular set, is it's all modular. So what that means is obviously you can stick together however you want. But if sticking it together however you want, you don't want to make sure you're gluing every piece together, because the roof of this comes off. So I'm winding slightly off camera angle there, aren't I? Maybe over there a little bit. Okay, stay. So yeah, as I was saying, it's modular scenery. Now, I've paid all the stops height, so there you go. Lovely insides. I do say so myself. Now, what you do with this is top comes off, and it goes on like that. If you notice, there's not a shred of paint on this. Just sits on top. Still grey plastic. The reason why is because when it comes to stacking these, here's one I painted earlier, stacks them like that. So yes, you can still see the greyness there, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to have something within that gap, a platform or something to hide it. Or failing that, it's going to go like that, so you can only see a little bit of the grey plastic. So as you can see, we've not bothered painting the underneath, so don't worry too much about it. Oh dear God, I can't even put it back on. Yeah. But that is your wall section done though, or your corridor section. Very easy, simplistic, tabletop ready. And it's taken me about, we've telling you how to do this, about half hour to show you how to do this. It's not too bad really. So next, put that, we're going on to door section. Oh, barricade. Glass door. So with this, I'm going to do the dry brushing quickly. I won't show you how to do it because I'm showing you on the other piece. So I'll do the dry brushing, then I'll show you about doing the computer screen buttons there. So next time you see this bit, it'll be dry brushed. So that's the dry brushing done. Now for control panel time. Nice and easy. Get the Abaddon Black. Open her up. Oh, excuse me. We're getting the regiment brush. And just make sure it's all in camera angle yet. So. Paint it on, try and get nice and smooth as you can do. Probably the only bit you all want to get smooth, because if you want to do a computer screen, the smoother the better. Nice and easy that. Just that to dry it a little bit. Got the control interface. With that, we'll be using some lead belter for the buttons. Back from that, so put it back down. Stay open. Good pop. So this time you want to make sure there's little paint on the brush. So you're swiping off the edges there, and you're using the side of the brush rather than the tip. Because you do the tip, there's more chance going into the recesses And then your buttons, you just end up painting the entire thing. So you do sideways, less chance of getting into the recesses and more chance of only painting the buttons. Yeah. There you go, and that is making sure that we don't touch the insides. Oh, just 2 seconds up. So yeah, we're just doing the buttons here. Don't worry too much if you go over on these ones, because it is very close to the recesses, so those buttons will get a bit messy. But once you've got the control panel looking like that, next bit is you're getting the insane detail brush. And it's moot green. So, moot green, we're just going to go, obviously we've got the insane detail brush, I'm just going to go around the edges of the screen just to light it up. That way we'll show, or give the effect that you've got the screen actually switched on. So this, and to get the excess off the brush, because if you have too much on, it's going to go all over the place and we don't want that. It's a nice try and get a fine line. I'm a bit wobbly at the moment. The thing is, you don't have to worry if it goes too thickly, because what we'll do in a minute is we'll go back over with the black and out. So, seeing I can't actually go thin at the moment with the brush, I'll just go thick and tidy up afterwards. So you can kind of already get a bit of the idea of what the effect we're trying to achieve at the moment.
You sold the paint stand for 13 quid. You what? You sold the paint stand for 13
What we'll do,
quid.
close that and we'll get the Abaddon black out. Go back to the regiment brush and tidy up and get a nice thin line going. So
you worked out the...
I've just been doing it, well, that's the amount that was supposed to sell for. I know you'd explained before the thing behind it.
right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
You just like, I was going to sell it for...
I think that's what we sold it at.
And you put a little bit of paint on the brush, that's all you need.
Discount for non-model stuff, which you said we would do 35%, so we did 35%.
This way we'll get a nice thin line on the edge.
Yeah. So the spell guards.
I'll just take it out.
Do you remember how much the
Just honestly, it's just in case he wants a copy of this, I'll just send him to say wet on it.
And that gives a nice thinner, neat edge to the screen. Makes it look like it's actually got a little bit of power going to it. It's a nice little simple effect. So that is control panel done. Next, we're going to do the door that I keep changing the name to. So we'll call this blast doors. And for that effect, what we're doing is painting it like so. Nice little hazard lines. Nice easy process. All it is Avalon Sunset and Abaddon Black. So we'll start with the
Was it the Thursday or was it the Friday?
Abaddon Black first.
Thursday.
7. Go back as far as.
So get that to one side for that.
Friday night when I went home.
Oh, we're doing regiment brush. And we'll do the black first because black is always a lot easier to paint than yellow. Just proper, 7. So loading up the brush and just painting on. Don't worry about being too neat as always.
Hello. Hi Debbie, how are you?
That is one side done. Now what we'll do
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
is
Just waiting
we'll
for the
repeat the
insurance
process,
money to come
missing
through.
every other panel, till it's done all the way through.
The insurance
So-
money to come through from leak.
We'll show you what it's like in a second.
Attacking its.
Et voila, there we go.
And I've got
All the
these
back panels done now.
so
Next is to do the yellow,
might look like
obviously
that.
down these bits. That is with Avalon Sunset.
There you go. I mean, it's like-
Now if anyone's painted with yellow before,
First time round.
you'll know that it's a pain to work with,
Without prejudice and whatever, and I was like,
which is another bonus about not having to worry about being neat
you know,
with
it's like
this.
one of them things where you've got to do the difficult job, haven't you? As like an accounts manager.
Same process with the black.
They've not paid it to you. Well, what do you do? You put them on hold, and then you try and get money off them. You know.
Go on, stay open. Ah, there we go, that's better. So,
I'm
Painting
guessing
yellow.
people take it personally,
on the blast doors.
not fairness.
So, proper chunk and paint on there. And away we go.
Yeah. I think I don't really worry about it over Christmas, to be honest. It's not really Christmas if I'm constantly worrying if I'm even going to get money or not. But I can see it going that way, to be honest. And it's affecting me as well. I'm not sleeping much at the minute. I've got a lot of kind of anxiety over
Nice
it.
and easy.
So yeah.
And a little bit of that.
And I'm kind of I'm desperately running out of stock as well at the minute. I managed to get hold of some off what do you call them? Of the bankruptcy people. Managed to get hold of some bits and bobs, but there's not much out there. So, I say, it's impossible actually to get stuff.
As you can see, that's not too brilliant in there. What we'll do, once that dries a bit, then we'll go back over just to touch up. Otherwise, we'll complete it on the other panels and show you how it looks in a minute. And there we have it. Barricade door done. Blast door. Yeah. So, blast all, call it that. I'll probably change a couple of things anyway. So, there we have it. All painted up. And let me just slot in there, nice and easy. There we go. And the other side as well. It's quite nice. And that is it for showing you how to paint the scenery. The rest of the scenery pieces are pretty much one. They're not the same, obviously. They are different shapes, but they all require the same technique. So that's why we won't be showing you how to paint any of the others up. But that is how it's done. Nice simple techniques for desired effect, looking at how it looks. Now if you notice, I've not actually done the top part there. That's because 9 times out of 10 you might actually have a bit of scenery on top. And it saves a little bit extra trying to get the lines right. So there we have it. That is how you paint up the Zone Mortalis scenery. So once again I do apologise for the lateness of this video and my brilliance in not actually pressing the record button. But thank you for tuning in guys, and we shall catch you later.